Howdy, partners. So, you want to be a detective, huh? Well, we're about to find out if you can handle it. Because I'm about to tell you about a service that you can get monthly that gives you just one full case for you to solve. No, over the months, this is just one case, 1 month. Let's see how it is. Now, we're going to be talking about Sleuth Kings. Now, they are a monthly service. Basically, every month they send you a new case. Now, this isn't a case that has to be solved over a long period. Oh! The wind is kicking up. Sleuth Kings gives you a new case every month. Now the cases take about 2 hours to do, so it's not that bad. It comes in a folder for like you, so it's like, ooh, here's the case notes and everything in it. And you have to solve it just using these pieces of paper. Now, I never saw anything that was just more than just a piece of paper, which was a little annoying. I would have liked to have like tokens or something more physical than just some pieces of paper that you got. Like this. My main problem with the whole service is the ridiculous flow of the cases. Of the 2 cases I did, one had to do with drugs being smuggled through a book giveaway, and the other one had money missing in a school. These weren't very interesting. Even the drug one, while it was a very serious case, it had silly puzzles for you to solve. Like any smuggler would ever set up crazy, complicated puzzles for his accomplice to solve. Nothing would ever get done, especially with all the steps you would need to do. It's in a world that basically acknowledges that email exists, but criminals prefer to use physical paper evidence instead of easily deleted emails. I mean, each of these cases had us stumbling on these notes to solve. It was just nuts. There's actually very little detective work in this, which is frustrating. It's just a puzzle series with the littlest bit of real detection. Usually it just involves you trying to figure out who the villain is. Also, the tone of the cases, the way it plays out, is very family friendly. There's really nothing that's ever very intense or scary from what I saw. Now, there is a bot that you email who will give you clues and like you give the answers to, and you kind of communicate back and forth, but it's actually really simple. I wish, and the problem with the bot is it really is, here's a hint, no other hints, here's the solution. So it's either you get a hint or a solution. There is no in-between spot, because a lot of times these are multi-layered puzzles that you have to solve. And it would have been nice if they said, okay, so at this point I was thinking this. So it's just a little annoying on that. Like I mentioned, the stuff that you get in the folder is very basic. Mostly it's just paper printouts. Sure, the stock of the paper changes, but in the end it just feels really cheap. In fact, one of the biggest differences in the cases was that one of them uses a red and blue 3D glasses. Even those felt cheap because they were just fantastic for 3D glasses. Now you could say it was part of the narrative since the person who sent it to us only had what they had around. But I do have a feeling this was more about getting a good deal on them. Now this one actually has an interesting way of trying out the service. You can actually sign up for a little mini experience, which is free, and they'll ship it to you. And they actually got it to me in like 4 or 5 days, which was quite impressive. You get a card. And this card has 3 different puzzles on it to solve, and you do it with the email guy, and you solve puzzles with him. So you can see exactly how the game is played. And I thought that was a really cool thing for them to do. Sleuth Kings, let's talk about the price, the quality, the enjoyment, and the overall feel of the whole thing. Now for price, I would give this 2.5 stars. For what you're getting, it's just not worth it. It feels like a $20 service that they're charging $30 for. Now, it might have just been the cases that I tackled, and maybe some of the other cases might have great things in it. But from what I tried, it's really overpriced. Now, quality, I'm going to go with 3 stars on this one. Once again, I wasn't impressed with the paper clues. While they were well made, at the end of the day, it feels like they just spent $4 on the whole paper and printing of everything. After I was done with it, I just chucked everything in the trash. There was nothing worth keeping, unlike the others in this series. Enjoyment, I would give this 3 stars as well. While there was some interesting puzzles, the overall story from the ones that I played were kind of dull. I liked the bot named Sullivan that we talked to, but in the end he was just only there to give you one clue or the solution. It might have been nice to have him talk with us about something other than just the case. I mean, sure, you can help solve the disappearance of his father with him, but his character is so one-dimensional. I wish he had engaged with us more. I mean, it's not the first time I've seen a bot as part of a puzzle. They were all over the PC game Majestic, but they would actually engage with you. How is it that this bot couldn't be better than an 18-year-old game? Now overall, I would give this 3 stars. It was almost a clean sweep on the 3-star ratings. The puzzles could be good at times, but there were others where it just felt insane that this was happening. No criminal would ever go to this lengths to hide his activities. I mean, they would just be leaving evidence for people to find, when it would just be so much easier to use disposable emails or phones. I know it's the setup of the game, but it's hard to get into something where I can't buy into it. If you have any interest in this at all, I would suggest you try out the free case. There is no fee to pay. You just put in your address and they'll send you the puzzle. It won't take you long to do, but it will give you a good indicator on how the real game is played. Now up next is the last part of my series, where I actually review a real detective series. There's no puzzle bullshit in this one, where you interview witnesses and examine clues, as I review the Postmortem series next time.